Hello, viewers. Today is August 18th, 2024. I'm here to continue the discussion about the US presidential elections 2024. Today, I would like to talk about both the campaigns and their events in the last 24 hours, and then I'll finally look at who has the momentum now and whether that person can sustain the momentum in the next 1 week or 10 days. So first, let's look at the Republican side. Donald Trump did an event yesterday, and again, he was talking about how he is entitled to attack Kamala Harris and how he tried to frame her as a lefty. In fact, he even called her father as a Marxist professor and whatnot. And so he's also talked about he's going to continue to attack her record, and he also said that he's going to continue to attack her personally. And then he talked about how she's trying to say that she's going to do all those things, but she's not able to. She will not be able to deliver those things. So, as a response, his own Republican colleagues, including Governor of New Hampshire, Sununu, came out and said that Trump should stay away from talking about this, and he should instead focus on the issues. And the Republicans are actually looking for Trump to talk about the two main issues that helps the Republicans, not just on the presidential level, but also in the down ballot races. So they want him to focus on the two I's, which is the inflation and the illegal immigration issue. And in this aspect, Governor Sununu was echoing what Nikki Haley was saying, that do not talk about what you're entitled to in terms of attacking Kamala Harris personally. Instead, talk about the issues. So that's what is happening on the Republican side, but I'm sure that Trump is going to do exactly what he wants to do, and I don't think he's going to listen to any of these people who are advising him to do the opposite. So then, from a scheduling perspective, I was very interested to know exactly what the Trump campaign is going to do next week. So we do have answers for that. Next week in Pennsylvania, Trump is doing an event in Pennsylvania on Monday, and then he's going to do an event in Michigan on Tuesday. And on that same day, J.D. Vance is doing an event in Wisconsin. And then on Wednesday, Trump is going to do an event in Asheboro, North Carolina. I'm saying all this is because up until 2004, both parties had ruled that, it's not a rule per se, but it is some kind of a norm that they will not do any campaign events when the other party is having their convention. And that is to just say that we will defer in deference to their convention. We will just not do any campaign events, and then we'll start after their convention is over. That convention was followed up until the 2004 election. But in 2004 Republican National Convention, day after day, John Kerry's military record was questioned, and they attacked his military record. In effect, they swift voted John Kerry, and that forced John Kerry to come out on the night of the fourth day of the Republican convention. After George W. Bush has finished his acceptance speech, John Kerry was forced to come and do a campaign event. I think he did a campaign event with the firefighters after George Bush has accepted his speech, accepted his nomination at the convention. So after that 2004 election, both parties decided that they will just go ahead with the campaign events, irrespective of whether the other party is having a convention during those days or not. So Trump is following that, and he's going to have events during the Democratic National Convention. So that is from the Republican side. From the Democratic side, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz had a bus tour through Pennsylvania, and they are reaching Chicago tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first day of the Democratic National Convention, and President Biden is going to speak tomorrow. And I'm quite sure that he's going to talk about his achievements as a president in the first 4 years. And also, he's going to give a good endorsement to inform the public at large and the convention and the people within the convention that Kamala Harris is ready to be president, and he's going to give a very strong um, endorsement of her to be president of the United States. And I think Jill Biden is also going to speak tomorrow, the First Lady. She's also more or less going to do the same, is what I believe. Let's wait and watch. And then from a campaign perspective, Kamala Harris is staying there in Chicago on Monday, but then she is going to Wisconsin on Tuesday, and she's doing some campaign events in Wisconsin. So that shows how critical these battleground states are. Trump is campaigning on Monday in Pennsylvania. He knows it's very critical. And then he's campaigning in Michigan on Tuesday, and then North Carolina on Wednesday. J.D. Vance is campaigning in Wisconsin on Tuesday. And Kamala Harris, after going to the convention on Monday to listen to Joe Biden's speech, she's coming back to Wisconsin to do campaign events. That shows how critical Wisconsin is going to be for both parties, and Pennsylvania is also going to be both parties. That's why Kamala Harris went on a bus tour through Pennsylvania to the campaign, to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. So that said, let's look at who has the momentum now. So far, based on all the polls that I have seen, Kamala Harris still has the momentum, and she's doing pretty well in all the battleground states, even though she has not taken a clear lead on most of them, but she has really caught up with Trump in most of the battleground states. And the momentum is definitely with her. She had very good 10 or 13, 14 days. The last 10, 14 days has been very good to her in terms of polling. But that does not mean that this election is by any means over. I still feel that there will be one or two more events that will change the direction of this election. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a very close election up until the last day of the election. And generally, people talk about an October surprise. I am also thinking that there will be an October surprise. So the key question for the Kamala Harris campaign is whether they can sustain the momentum after the convention and a week or two after the convention. And from the Republican side is how they can come up with some kind of a narrative, some kind of campaign strategy to blunt this momentum and to basically either go ahead or keep the race too close to call across all these battleground states. And that's how both these campaigns will try to look at these battleground states. And also we will get to know more on exactly how they are spending money after this convention is over. Then we will know which states these people are targeting in terms of their prospects in those states. So let's wait and watch. And that's it for me today. I'll come back to you with another episode tomorrow. Take care.